Hey guys, it's me again, and I really wanted to show you something that I did right now, which was today. And the cool part was I made it today, and I finished it the same day. So I made this random little house that has staples under it, and so I wanted to do a tour of it. And I may show you a few things of how I made it, and I may not be the best at telling you really what it is, but you can still use our stuff if you want to make this and at least try to copy it. So here it is. This is my little house I made with a barn under it. And so I'm going to start with the barn because I think it is exceptionally pretty. So here is the barn that I made, and so under it, which is not really under it, I made some greenery, really soft and stuff. But if this is actually made of two little foam paper sheets that I had way more though. They're medium size, not large size, so basically you just take one, you stick it there. The other one you need to cut in half, and then the rest of the half you cut it in half to make this and stick it there. I think that's amazing. And so here we have got little hooks. They're not really pretty. They've got a lot of hot glue on it because I used everything. Everything that I sticked is actually sticked with hot glue because it's the thing I trust the most. This one was a little down, but I still think it works and it still sticks. So I basically use these tiny little sticks. I don't know, but you can get them at Michael's, close to the popsicle sticks. I think they're very high up though, but you can still get them if you want them because I use them for a few more things than you actually think. Not as much, but yeah. Now we're going here to a little dog feeder. I also made a cat feeder because I have a dog and a cat. I have like 5 dogs and 1 cat. They're not Slike though, none of them are Slike. They look like it though. But here there is a little bone I made with foam, and in here some water. I separated it. And if you guys want to know how I made this little plastic stuff, mostly where I got it, well, let's just say it comes with that. But I'll do a tour of that later, and so I'll explain later. And now here is the little barn I have made. So it first started with, I'm just gonna make 2 to 4. But then I realized, no, there's not enough space, so I made 3. And so I first started with this. And at first there was no little stick like that, or none of these things. There was just that and that. But then I started to realize that it is actually very wiggly and that it was not stable. So I put those little half-size sticks. You can find those at Michael's. Same thing with those popsicle sticks. There is multicolor or regular. I chose both of them, but then after that, I just did another V shape and then added a stick here because you didn't need another 4 shape because there was this already. Then I decided to do another one, but then I just started to realize that once I stick there was a loose space and the hot glue was making it wiggle. And so I was like, no, I'm definitely not going to do that. So I decided to add a little of those popsicle sticks again, from there. And so now it looks like it's some sort of metal chain. I'm not as happy that it looks like a metal chain, but it is working. So next we'll go to this room because I really like it. This is the room that is super plain, that just has antique stuff. And so here is a little picture of a horse that I drew, that I made with a little paper, what's it called? Well, anyways, most people have these and they're soft and sort of like metal, but they're really easy to twist. And this now I'm going to tell you what that was made of. So, technically, this little thing was made for holding tons of diamonds, sort of like that and that too. But then we decided to move them into another place that was even bigger, and so then I just still kept it because I actually liked it. But then I found it again today, at least 2 years later, and then I was like, oh, I've got to use it for something, and so I used it for that. And I cut the part like that was there, and I cut right there, and I also made a cat feeder that I'm going to show you soon enough. And so yeah, and in here, this is made of foam, really, it's pink, and this is supposed to be, I don't know, a polo for horses for down in the barn, or just some wool. I don't know, but you guys can choose this. It's made of foam paper. Now here is a plant I made with a go-go squeeze top. Cut it there, put some plasticine, which means it doesn't dry. It can still wiggle and stuff. It can still move completely. Put brown plasticine in it, and I put some green and some blue and some yellow plasticine to make the flower. Now here is a little fidget I made right here, there. But it's made of antique beads. So I use it as finisher, and I just find it's really pretty. And I made a mirror with 2 little beads. It's not really interesting. I made a rosette. I just took this random orange bead, and that is a little cup I made with beads. Yeah, it's like just a cup. Oh, well, top's metal, but I still use it as a top. And so that was that, and next is a ladder, because at first I thought I'd do another floor and stuff. Then I was like, oh no, because when I put the whole thing on top, apparently it made it darker, and I wanted to be light so that you could be able to see it. And so I kept it like that, and I thought the ladder would be great there. And by the way, there's the cat feeder. You know how it's made? It just has a little fish instead of a bone. That's that. Then I made this little arch so that then you could go down and go to the bedroom. And the yellow piece right there is a crown. First I was going to write queen, but then I scribbled it, and I'm like, oh no, that's going to make a disaster. So then I did another scribble. I don't know why. It was just like, oh, it's going to be fun. So here's the makeup room I made with cardboard too. And I just folded some pieces with hot glue. Then I took some foam and I just tied it there and put the little cotton in there to make those weird pom-pom fluff stuff. And I made another mirror right there, just makeup salon. Now here are the beds. I just realized that it looks like those weird YouTube stuff, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so funny, the YouTube button. And wasn't supposed to be like that though. So I made a bunk bed here with some popsicle sticks. You need to cut the bottom though, on both of them. I took orange foam, put them there. Also you need cardboard. And I also took some fluffy cotton pom-poms to make beds. I did not take the time to make those weird flower blankets. And they're just made of random little cotton, sort of. We'll just call it cotton. And so yeah, it's the same principle with the bed, except with the short ones from here. And then you still need to cut it, but then on the bottom you make a topper, and the same thing, I just added a blanket that you hot glue on the bottom and leave that top open so that you can do this. You just go whoop, and then you go whoop, if you want it back. And there's a little rug. That's a rug too. So guys, that was pretty much the end of my little barn tour of the new house I made. Oh, and by the way, I also added flowers of little sticker stuff and beautiful detail markings. This is also made of leaves though, But yeah, that's the end.